At the small forward position, 6 feet 7 inches, number 20, Quincy Pondexter. At center, 7 feet, number 3, Omer Ashik. At guard 6'4" from Indiana.
New Orleans, land of the Pelicans, in a fine Western Conference battle at the New Orleans Arena. Thanks for joining us as we get set to bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Tip-off goes to New Orleans. And they double up Davis. So the Pelicans win the tip. Ashik, the pass to Pondexter. Gordon with no one around. Wide open shot is on the money. Gordon's got the game going here with the first basket for the Pelicans.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines.
He's San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the 5 spot. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the third fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick-fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
Here's Aldridge, and that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. New Orleans has come out of the gates quickly. 4-point game. Ashik, no good. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Back to Leonard. Soft touch off the glass.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
The Pelicans have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. It's stolen by Duncan. To the middle. And there's Green on the assist by Leonard.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
That bucket in no time at all. And it's 9 points for Eric Gordon.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Duncan with the bucket. And guys, as a second-round pick, Danny Green was once an afterthought out of North Carolina. Now he's one of the most dangerous three-point shooters in the league.
You're right, Kevin. Throughout last season, and 42% from beyond the arc for his.
Talking about Danny Green, he owns one of the better field goal percentages for a volume three-point shooter in the league. And he's a marksman at the charity stripe, too. A valuable role player for any offense.
And the basket by Gordon.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
It's rebounded by Leonard.
And when you think about Danny Green, he doesn't just hit from downtown. He does it when it counts. Go back to that NBA Finals back in 13, and he made a total of 27 threes, smashing that previous record of 22, and that's coming up big in the biggest moments. Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
And Leonard gets it to go.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
And really something that the defense has to address.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, as a coach, you can really ill afford to have those types of opportunities presented against your defense.
Leonard against Gordon. Davis sets a screen for the three. And that's good. Eric Gordon for 3. Gordon's got 17 now.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quickly.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his first foul. The Pelicans making a switch here. Cole's checked in. Spurs also with the sub. Ginobili's checked in. And the basket by Gordon.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
Well, this is really one of the nicer buildings in the NBA, right downtown Clark, this home of the Pelicans across from the Superdome.
Kevin, you're always worried about how close we are to Bourbon Street when we come here, man. But yeah, this was a fortress for the Pelicans last season as they won some big games here for sure.
Now here's Gordon. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. 1:29 left here in the first quarter. It's tipped from deep. Can't get it to go. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. There's Gordon. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Dishes it to Cole. Uncovered. Goes back up. And Davis puts it in.
It is so hard to contain him. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
Will it go? And Aldridge the basket on the assist from Duncan. Aldridge has got his second basket.
Boy, this game is off to a flying start.
Yeah, we're seeing some high-octane offense from both sides in this one.
Ooh, that's as forceful. A finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly. That's the right look. The decision was good. He just didn't execute.
For three, Gordon. Great. That time from Duncan. Offensive rebound. Ginobili. A second chance effort. And he sinks the layup.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
And really, that's what built the early lead here. Killer shooting from beyond.
And the defense needs to recognize that and get to the shooters. It's imperative that they get a hand up.
You know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
Yeah, and you know, coaches always are looking for ways to tweak things and change it up a little bit, no matter what the situation is. That's what coaches do.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the... And LaMarcus Aldridge, the franchise player on this team, without question. He talked about the...
In every aspect, you know, it's a change for us, being more vocal, doing it on the court, trying to lead in practice. I think overall everything I do has to be better because guys are trying to follow me.
Greg, does that acceptance come with putting a whole lot more pressure on yourself? And if so, what does that do to LaMarcus Aldridge's game?
You know, Kevin, that's what's going to be so interesting to find out. Some players, you know, they really relish in that situation. They rise to that occasion. And others, I don't want to say they wilt under the pressure, but they're just not comfortable in that environment. And in the NBA, you get to do it on TV and in front of thousands in person.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
This is almost like a volleyball game when you watch just how many shots they blocked or altered.
Well, how about this? A lot of side out for them, the way they've swatted shots away. That's a volleyball term, by the way, folks.
Yeah, or handball.
Like that. Or handball.
Yeah, either one of the two. They're knocking a lot away. On the court for San Antonio here in the second. They've got Ginobili. Green out there with Mills. Then there's West. And it's Diaw in at the power forward position. For a while, the Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case.
Anderson dishes to Ajinça. Pass to Cunningham. Kicks to Holiday. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
First personal foul.
Some changes for New Orleans. And Anthony Davis is checked in for Alexis Ajinça. Luke Babbitt comes in for Ryan Anderson. And it's Gordon in for Dante Cunningham. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for San Antonio. Parker comes in for Patty Mills.
You know, for the Spurs playing up-tempo, I mean, they made that adjustment several years back, to their credit. Since then, they've been one of the more up-tempo and offensive-minded teams in the league.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And some stats to kind of back up the Spurs playing that up-tempo style. They led the league last year in distance traveled as a team. Their players would cover almost 18 miles per game played. That tells you there's tremendous ball movement, but more importantly, body movement.
Tyreek Evans is checked in for the Pelicans. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Green kicks to Aldridge. Aldridge double teamed. And Tyreek Evans is going to pick up the foul.
Tyreek Evans. That's his first personal foul.
Here's Aldridge. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Aldridge has got 8 points.
Excellent communication on the inbound play there, guys. He got in a good position, and the pass was as it needed to be, on time and on target.
Well, despite that possession, something that I've liked is they've been under control while getting out in this lead. They've kept those turnovers down.
The Pelicans making a switch here. Ashik. checked in. Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. San Antonio again missing.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pelicans will retain possession.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended. Really unfortunate for Eric Gordon that an assortment of injuries have really derailed his career. A few years back, he looked like he'd be an absolute star. Once a 22 points a game score, was down to 13 a game last season.
Evans goes in, unloads from 9, and you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for the Pelicans?
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, but they've also protected the paint extremely well. You see that in their block shot totals, but also they've altered a lot of shots.
Yeah, on the topic of Eric Gordon, one would think he's still young and talented enough to be a difference maker with any team. He just has to stay healthy. That really is the bottom line. He's got to keep his health.
Kevin, the truth is, though he's had a number of injuries, they've all been different. It isn't one chronic thing. So with a little good luck, we could see him shine once more.
That one off the back iron and out.
You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense. Active, and he made it a very tough shot for him.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Feeds it to Babbitt. Plenty of space. That's good on the jump shot. And the Pelicans lead by 19.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Gordon outside. Kicks it out to Ginobili. The Spurs working the ball around now. That is good.
Almost automatic when he can get the basketball that close to the basket.
Well, defense has to be played earlier in that situation. You've got to fight to not allow him to get that position in the first place.
The drive by Green. The basket is good. That's his 6th attempt and his 3rd make.
What a pass by the fearless Manu Ginobili. Great teamwork.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season. But he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
Cole's checked in for Luke Babbitt. The Spurs also with the sub. Kawhi Leonard, he's checked in for Tony Parker.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Pelicans leading by 16. Gordon the pass to Davis. And stolen by Aldridge. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. Ryan Anderson. He's checked in for Anthony Davis.
Let's go.
1:16 left to play here in the half. Cole. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard.
Jeez, maybe he was trying to show off or something right there.
Is that what you think?
Absolutely.
Instead, it had the opposite effect. He looked foolish.
Pass to Anderson. Asik dishes to Anderson. And Cole kicks to Evans. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Some changes for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Asik. Cunningham comes in for Tyreke Evans. And it's Drew Holiday in for Gordon. Here's Leonard. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Outside Holiday. Cunningham. And again, no good by New Orleans.
And sometimes he can hit that deep three, but it's not a high percentage shot for him.
Yeah, even for him, that's out of his range.
From deep three-point range, ball's knocked loose, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Spurs ball.
19 seconds left in the first half. Aldridge wide open. He fires. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. That's 10 points for Aldridge.
And that's what they have to do more of. They got a great look out of that possession.
The shot by Holiday, no good. Cuts off the pass. Anderson. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. So we've reached the end of the...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. After the first 2 quarters of play, it's New Orleans in control. They lead by 10. Shaq, we'll start with you. How do you think they played?
You know what, Ernie? I got to stand up on this one. I salute to their bench. Man, once.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is a...
The second half just about to get going here. We're seeing a tremendous game from Eric Gordon.
Yeah, he was in attack mode from the word go. Came out very aggressively in that first half.
Take a look at his shot chart. It looks like the ink spilled right at the rim. No reason for him to settle for anything less.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So for New Orleans right now, Pondexter and Davis fill up the forward slots. Evans and Gordon are the guard set, and it's Ashik in at the 5.
You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. What Popovich said last year, he feels it might actually be the case.
Spurs trail by 11. And the wide open shot from Green. And the rebound goes to the Pelicans. Gordon's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Still a bit chilly from the field at the start of this third quarter. 1 of 4 so far.
Leonard kicks to Parker. Just his first attempt. Good.
That's 10 straight off of the mid-range.
I like the gray, Greg. They're picking their spots and finding holes in the middle of that defense to get those shots off. That's excellent discipline on display right there.
West is checked in for Tim Duncan.
David West.
Here's Leonard. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Ashik's got his 5th rebound in this one. And it's Gordon missing.
Yeah, real nice shot selection there. I guess he's working on his buzzer beater form.
That's a reach, but perhaps that is the case. Or maybe he was trying to knock a bird off of the scoreboard.
Is about right. Because I still can't figure that one out.
No, I see no birds up there.
No.
Outside for Davis. From deep 3-point range, and the Pelicans miss again.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Leonard. The Spurs rebound. From deep, Green. That's not going to go. He's 4 for 10.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
The Pelicans making a switch here. Babbitt's checked in. Then for the Spurs, Morris Diaz checked in for Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Green.
Well, last season, Quincy Pondexter was moved to the Pelicans. He really took off after the trade and played some of his best basketball to date.
Pelicans leading by 5. Evans. It's rebounded by Boris Diaw. The Spurs have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. And Leonard gets it to go. Pondexter last year was very valuable after the trade. Career highs, Clark, in points and minutes played for him and with the Pels.
Yeah, and you know, he showed he can really be a 3 and D guy. Shot over 40% from deep with the Pelicans and defended pretty much every position on the perimeter.
Uncovered. Babbitt, good. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Here's the three. Rebound, Ashik. Ashik's got his 8th rebound here tonight. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. Drew Holiday is checked in for New Orleans. Spurs trail by 5. Parker kicks to Leonard. And counts the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see. Listen, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's feeling right at home. Said last season he wants to remain a Spur for life.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Evans. Norris Cole, he's checked in for Gordon. The Spurs have gone at a pretty good shooting pace. They're 6 of 13 from the field here in the third.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Pelicans leading by 3. And for Leonard to hear players say that a lot, but rarely before they reach the end of their rookie contract.
Yeah, I think Leonard just realizes what a special situation he found himself in. I mean, he is the complete package as a player and custom made for how the Spurs like to play and do things.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track. And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Some changes for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Anthony Davis. Anderson comes in for Luke Babbitt. And it's Cunningham in for Tyreek Evans. The Spurs also with the sub. Ginobili's checked in. Last year, the Pelicans, Greg, pushed their way into the postseason. It was a neck-and-neck battle for that number 8 spot, as you recall, with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And how about the excitement down the stretch? They were able to edge out the Thunder and Russell Westbrook on that just point binge down the stretch there. And what a final day that was. A big, huge win over the Spurs let them get into the postseason for the first time under the Pelican moniker.
Diaw, the pass to West, taken away by Holiday. And pushing it up, here's New Orleans. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. And now it's an 8-point Pelican lead. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Pelicans.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And I also love what they've done defensively in terms of closing out to the shooters, getting a hand up, just making them feel a little uncomfortable on the offensive end.
San Antonio calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And as you said, I mean, New Orleans made the playoffs for the first time under the name Pelicans. Unfortunately for them, they ran into the Warriors in the first round and were promptly swept away.
Duncan, he's checked in for West. And the Pelicans with the possession. They're on a 12-4 run right now.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, as a coach, you can really ill afford to have those types of opportunities presented against your defense.
Spurs trail by 11. Here's Diaw. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. Duncan's got 3 assists now in this one.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
And really, there is no resistance defensively right now. It is just far too easy.
Shots good by Mills.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
And the Pelicans making a change. Pondexter's checked in. San Antonio also making some changes. Aldridge comes in for Boris Diaw. And it's Green in for Patty Mills. .29 seconds left to play here in the third. Green, no luck.
I can't figure out, guys, what's going on with him this quarter. I mean, he hasn't gotten one shot to drop.
The feed to Cunningham. The dish to Holiday. A rebound by the Spurs. It's Ginobili with the drive. Parker. And he banks in the layup. Parker's got 8 points in the quarter.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
From deep. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. And so here is New Orleans on the floor for San Antonio starting the fourth quarter. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Aldridge out there with Duncan. And it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. Spurs trail by 5. Green inside the 3-point line. Shot is no good. Gordon with the defensive effort. Well for New Orleans, shooting 40% from the field. That's tipped. It's stolen by Green. It's stolen by Davis. And now here comes Gordon leading the break. Ashik with the bucket. So it's San Antonio now. It's tipped. It's stolen by Davis. Gordon. Poked loose and out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. A different look now for San Antonio. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Duncan. And it's Fredette in for Parker. Here's Fredette. Bonner dishes to Aldridge from 10 feet out, and he connects with the jumper.
Big time bucket there, and you can expect to see him stay very involved the rest of the way.
Evans. And that's not even close. Spurs trail by 5. Leonard kicks to Fredette. Fires at the elbow. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Evans can't get that one to fall.
Well, he's gone without a field goal, and that certainly is below par for him. His team has still found a way to get it done. They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
On the wing, Gordon. Davis, the pass to Usher. Pondexter kicks to Evans. Davis dishes to Usher. New Orleans moving the ball around. Kicks it out to Evans. The pass to Usher. 5 to shoot. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Shot from the top of the key. Evans can't get that one to fall.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Leonard, no luck. New Orleans leading by 3. From deep 3-point range, a nice shot by Pondexter.
Timeout Spurs.
Spurs decide to talk it over.
And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable 3-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career.
You know, we were talking about Eric Gordon. He's always had great range, but not always the great shot selection.
You know, and that's a great point because, you know, we see now that he's starting to mature. He's starting to value every possession. And that's good news for the rest of that team.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He doesn't think they've been giving it their all, saying they've been quicker to rebounds, to every loose ball. We got to wake up. The game's slipping away, and we're letting it happen. We have got to take control of this thing. We'll see if he lit a fire under him, guys.
Defensively, they can't afford to back off of him that much. You don't want to be giving up easy threes, especially at this stage of the game.
That doesn't go either for Davis. Spurs trail by 3. Leonard attacking. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. 18 points for Kawhi Leonard. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
Yeah, it sure has been the case. I mean, turnovers are like missing breakfast. Eventually, it's going to cost you.
Well, I've always thought that it was good to maybe miss a breakfast or two, but that's another story. Anyhow, you can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Evans with it. Fires the 3. And Eric Gordon gets the 3. Gordon's got 38 points.
And he got loose from the three-point range in the first half and showing signs here that he's still got the flow in the second.
Evans dishes to Cole. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
And at this stage of a tight game, the tired legs really start to show. A defense becomes vulnerable if you can continue to pound it inside.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
Yeah, just frustrated by their lack of production offensively, and I can't blame them. I mean, they're getting the looks, but the shots just aren't falling.
Yeah, and the slump that they're having shooting the ball can take its toll on you if you're not mentally strong. And so I like this timeout here to try to get those guys reset and refocused.
Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for the Pelicans. The Spurs also changing it up. Duncan, he's checked in for Matt Bonner. And Parker subbed in for Fredette. Here's Parker. Green kick. All sorts of time.